Welcome back, everyone, to an actual round of Pokemon this time, unlike GLC. We are here with Sackett Bremer on the left, playing Mew VMAX with Aerodactyl V-Star. And we have Alex Szymanski on the right, I believe maybe playing Vikavolt, because I do see that Ditto V, Energy Search, and Water Energy. That's a little indicative of him playing Vikavolt, if I do remember. I did see him playing in the background while I was watching my friend Chris play his Day 2 games. So, I definitely believe that that is what he was playing, if I remember correctly. This is the last round of Swiss. This may be a winning into top 8, I believe. So we will have to see. Let's see, they are at 32 match points. Yep, so if one player wins, they will be guaranteed. This ended up, just a little bit of a spoiler alert, being a very clean cut. Everyone who had 35 match points or better ended up making top 8, and everybody with 34 or less did not. So I do know Ian Robb ended up being at 34 match points and was the 9th place player. He did not technically bubble because he did not make the same amount of match points as the 8th place. You have to have the same amount of match points in order to be considered a bubble. Also looks like Sackett here is going to be trying to sack Alex Szymanski here with his full arts. Those are very pricey cards for Mew when you could just buy the V battle deck and have all the half arts you could ever want. So we are going to see a double turbo energy come down to the Mew after this battle VIP pass. We are going first with Mew. Always what you want to do. You want to be the one going first because you cannot attack until you are able to evolve into Mew VMAX. We're also going to see an Ultra Ball. We'll discard a Lost Vacuum and the Roxanne to get a Mew VMAX. That will be great for next turn, especially since we are going to be able to Quick Ball yet again. Looks like we're not going to put the Path to the Peak in play. We might not know what Szymanski is playing here, but usually when you're in Day 2, you generally know what your opponent is playing. Because you can usually look at Pokestats, I believe. Always has your deck lists. Or not your deck lists, but your deck names for Day 2. They're almost always correct, but they're not always correct, so. Got 4 cards we're drawing with the Genesect here to go to 5 cards in hand because we do have that Mew VMAX in hand. Looks like we may have an Aerodactyl V-Star in hand, but we did prize the regular Aerodactyl, and we likely know that our opponent is not on Lugia V-Star, so it doesn't really matter. So we are just going to discard that with the Quick Ball, and we're just going to start going ham with the other Mew VMAX Fusion Strike Pokemon here. Looking as we're eyeing up that Oricorio, we will be benching that. That will make a significant difference here. I do believe that Sackett is very much favored in this matchup. Vikavolt can definitely beat Mew. However, as long as the Mew deck is able to just get 2 Mew VMAXs in play, both with double turbo energies, they can generally just win the game off of them. You could just, Techno Blast, retreat, Techno Blast, retreat, Techno Blast, retreat, Techno Blast, and then just win, just win the game like that. Vikavolt only has 190 HP. Even if you're in item lock, you don't really care, especially if you can get a choice belt down early. I guess that doesn't really make the difference on the damage. But Cape of Toughness is the only thing you really have to worry about in this matchup if your opponent gets that onto their Vikavolt. And it looks like we just passed from there. So we have the full setup that we want with Mew. That is not a bad start there. We got 3 Genesects, 2 Mews, 1 Oricorio. We're going to use the Hisuian Heavy Ball to get the Ditto V with the V transformation ability out from the prize cards. Looks like we're going to offer the cut. Sackett is going to help put those prize cards out for Alex. I always appreciate when my opponents do that. I always try to do that. If my opponent plays the heavy ball, they always offer the cut, and then I will put it out for them. I try to remember how they put their prize cards out because I like to do 3 and 3. Most people like to do 2, 2, and 2 as like how they set up their prize cards on the side. So I try to set it up the exact same way that they had them, just because, that's their preference. We are going to see double power tablet. Oh, looks like Alex had a really bad start. Yeah, Alex had an abysmal start here. Just attaches water energy and passes on the Ditto V. I mean, I guess you could V transform into the Luminion if it dies, but you don't want to do that. Can Aqua return yourself so that you don't have to play the game anymore? That could be fun. And we are going to go for the Judge for Sackett. That is going to give Alex a way to come back into this game. I'm not necessarily liking that. I'm not sure why we went for the Judge here, because we could have just taken the knockout on the Luminion. But maybe Sackett is like, I just want to burn as many item cards out of my deck as possible, which is not the worst idea. But again, just since you know Szymanski's hand is so dead. I mean, he didn't play a supporter at all, so you know he doesn't have one in hand. I mean, maybe he has Raihan, but he doesn't even have energy left in deck, in discard, so it's not like he can even play a Raihan. And I don't even think that deck does anyway. We are going to flip heads on the Cram-O-Matic. So again, just trying to burn through as many item cards as possible before you get item locked. Looks like Alex may have a Judge of his own in hand. We also see a Radiant Greninja and a Fighting Energy? Is that a Fighting Energy? Does he also have a proxy like Rahul did? Because I can't imagine him playing a Fighting Energy in Vikavolt. Maybe I'm wrong about what deck he was playing. I don't know. We'll see. So we just see Mew putting down some more cards. We're going to draw one with Genesect. We get another Mew V. Oh, and we're going to get the Path down as well. So that will stop not only V transformation, but if Alex has any Luminion or even the Greninja or the Crobat, which he does end up top decking. So yeah, very unfortunate for Szymanski here. We are going to see that Judge come out. The very beautiful, I think that's the Professor's promo of the Heart Gold Soul Silver Judge. I know that those are a little pricey. At least they were when I wanted to buy them. And they've reprinted Judge like 3 times since I wanted to buy that card, so. Yeah, Judge has been like legal for so long now. I just have the regular Heart Gold Soul Silver ones. It's fine. They're not hollow, so they're a little easier to play. Looks like we are going to get the Zapdos off of this Trekking Shoes. We are going to attach Speed Lightning. Not an ideal Pokemon to attach it to, but at least that allows you to draw more cards. We are going to see an Escape Rope. That will force the other Mew VMAX up. And just a pass. Oof. So at least he'll be taking a 1 prize knockout. Maybe Szymanski can come back into this after that, but I do not believe so. I think you're too far behind if you're playing Vikavolt. Yeah, so we are using the Forest Seal Stone to use a V-Star power to search our deck for any one card. It's half an Arceus. It's pretty good. We're going to grab a card. Do not have to tell your opponent what exactly it is, since it can be any card in your deck. It's not like you're searching for a trainer card, in which your opponent would have to verify that it is in fact a trainer card. That's why those cards like that say to reveal, but when it's any card, it never asks you to reveal it. Back when I used to play Kaijudo, I would have friends that would, whenever I played Crystal Memory, which was just a 4-drop, search your deck for any card, put it in your hand card, so very much like the Forest Seal Stone. And my friends would always ask, well, what did you get? And I'm like, I don't have to tell you. It is a card. You can verify that it is a card. And they would always, like, piss me off. It was, like, my pet peeve when I was playing that game. It really was. So, we do see Boss's Orders does bring up that Ditto V, and we are just going to see another hit for 190. Just knocking this out. We're going to go down to 2 prize cards remaining, and, what is Szymanski going to do from here? Like, why even bother playing? Just scoop. Go to the next game. I mean, maybe when he wants to see more of what Mew is playing, just force him to do more stuff. We are going to see the Scoop Up Net. We are going to Scoop Up Net again. Okay, I see why he didn't scoop now. I've done stuff like that before on purpose with Super Scoop Up. The judge is even laughing. That's kind of nice. Yeah. Alex knows that he has lost this game, so he just goes out in style on his own terms. He scoops up all of his Pokemon in play to lose himself the game. And he's like, all right. He's like, all right, let's just go to the next one. So Sackett, obviously, very happy with that play for multiple reasons. And Alex is just there like, yeah, that's all I got. So, oh well. Yeah. Fun fact, I have had my opponent start a Shaman EX against me before, and they use Super Scoop Up Net in order to put it back into their hand, and then they went to go bench it, and I'm like, well, first of all, you don't have an active Pokemon, so you can't bench it. And second of all, you don't have any Pokemon in play, so I win. So always fun to see stuff like that happen. So we are putting out the prize cards again. We see, looks like nothing super relevant. Does look like, oh, Alex prized Radiant Greninja and double Scoop Up Net, so that could matter. Sackett does prize, looks like one Genesect, one Double Turbo, one Mew, but that should be fine. He plays, you know, multiple copies of each of those. We are going to Speed Lightning our Vikavolt. We now have full confirmation Alex is playing Vikavolt. We are going to go in with the Hisuian Heavy Ball. We're likely grabbing that Greninja out of the prize cards. Maybe the Mew or the Raikou, but I think that Radiant Greninja is the best out of there. Yeah, so that is the option we are going for. We are going to allow our opponent to cut. We will bench the Radiant Greninja. We might, if we have another energy, we can just do that. It looks like double Scoop Up Net still in the prize cards. Did not move very much. We are going to Battle VIP Pass. Yeah, so he is playing a one of Fighting Energy. Very interesting to see that. I wonder why he's playing one of Fighting Energy. Oh, I see. He's probably, because he's got the 1/1 Aerodactyl V-Star in this deck. So he wants to be able to attack with Aerodactyl V-Star. That's why he's playing a Fighting Energy. So that makes perfect sense. So we are going to Concealed Cards, discarding a Water Energy to draw 2 cards. That will allow the Melanie to come into play potentially. Hopefully we will be able to do that. Looks like Alex did choose to also go first. Very interesting. I think since you are against Mew, you do choose to go first. Just because then Mew only has 1 turn of items if you miss. And also Mew can only attack on the 2nd turn of the game anyway. So might as well go first in this particular matchup on purpose. If you don't know what you're playing against with Vikavolt, you always go second. But if you know you're against Lost Box, you definitely go second. If you know you're against Mew, you go first. I had a bunch of people blind go first. Like, all of the Vikavolts that I played against, I believe all chose to... I think one of them chose to go second, but 2 of them chose to go first during this tournament. And it boggled my mind, because I'm like, that's not how you play the deck, dude. So we are seeing the Quick Ball, gonna get rid of a Power Tablet, looks like, to get a Mew V. We're gonna attach a Double Turbo. And Judge, ooh, alright, so Sackett is looking to dig into some good cards off of this 4. Maybe a Battle VIP Pass or 2. Maybe another Genesect, another Mew V. We will have to see. It does get double Battle VIP Pass. I was about to say his hand looks pretty dead, but nope, he's got double Battle VIP. He's got double Battle VIP Pass in his hand. Because I saw the Judge and I'm like, oh, that's not good. But no, Battle VIP Pass, very good. So we are going to get Mew Genesect. We are going to Battle VIP Pass yet again. You are allowed to play 2 at the same time and do both of the actions simultaneously, really. But some people can, like, be kind of rule sharky and be like, oh, so you failed the first one? Which is why I never play double. And that's probably why Sackett did exactly as he did. He resolved the first Battle VIP pass, then played down the second. I just hate those kinds of people. Like, it's pretty obvious I'm doing both. Like, even if they say it as a joke, I don't even like it. So you failed the first one? Like, well, no, I'm playing it. So we are going to go for the Cram-O-Matic, it looks like. Yep, we are. We're flipping a coin. We get heads, discarding that Quick Ball. It's always a little confusing on whether or not they're playing the Quick Ball or playing the Cram-O-Matic when they're discarding Quick Ball for Cram-O-Matic. But once you see that coin flip, it's like, oh, you're playing the Cram, got it. Because some people play the Cram, and then they have, like, the Quick Ball on top, and it looks like they're playing Quick Ball, but then they flip the coin die. But we are going to grab a card. Again, do not have to reveal what that card is, because Cram-O-Matic says search your deck for a card. Very important wording on there. And again, Mew will not be able to take the knockout this turn, so we are going to want to make sure that we do not have a Genesect active, we do not have an Oricorio active, we want a Mew active, we want to have double turbo energies in hand or on board, and we want to have a Mew VMAX in hand as well. Possibly another Judge. We are going to see another Cram-O-Matic. That one is Tails, but we are going to be able to draw more cards now. Looks like 2 more we're going to go for. We can also put Path to the Peak in play as well. That will shut off Radiant Greninja. So that could end up making a difference in what your opponent is able to do here. We're going to play the Rotom Phone. Why not? We don't have any more Genesects to use for the turn. However, we can not only stack the top deck to be whatever we want it to be, but we're playing out an item card. So now we do not have that item card in hand, so we do not have a dead card in hand once we go into the Paralyzing Bolt item lock. So yep, that double turbo now goes to the top of the deck. We are going to put the Path to the Peak down, and we will pass. It would have been nice to play that second Rotom Phone as well. You could still just put the same double turbo energy to the top of the deck. And then you'd have 1 less item card in your hand. But, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter that much. It would be Genesecting for 1 more card if the Path to the Peak comes out of play. We do see the Aerodactyl V gets benched. Very interesting to see that. Just because I don't really know how much that does in this matchup. But we do see a Paralyzing Bolt for only 30 because Oricorio is in play. So we do see Mew VMAX does come down. We do attach a double turbo. We are going to retreat into the Mew VMAX, and we are going to do the thing. We are going to cross Fusion Strike for Techno Blast. We are going to hit 190 damage. Actually, that does not knock out. For some reason, I keep thinking that Vikavolt has 190, but it has 210. So we are going to play a Judge here as well. Probably trying to draw into another Mew VMAX. Doesn't really matter too much what's in Szymanski's hand. He's only hitting for 30 unless he wants to break item lock. And, you know, this deck, the Vikavolt deck, cannot really chain too many Super Zap Bolts in a row. Usually they can do like 2 in a game, realistically. And that does 2-shot the Mew VMAXs. So, I mean, again, very hard matchup for Vikavolt. We are going to do the thing. We're attacking. We're going to hit for 190 damage. Also, I do believe that if you whiffed the Mew VMAX in hand, I think it would actually have been better to attack either with Psychic Leap or with Oricorio's Glistening Droplets would be even better. You can put 20 on the active and then 30 to the benched Mew. Or you can even start softening up the Aerodactyl V as well. That would be halfway decent. and then your active Mew VMAX would still be able to attack on the next turn. So I do think that going for the Techno Blast is actually a misplay, because now you are forcing yourself to have another Mew VMAX next turn. And since you did not immediately evolve your Mew V on the bench, yeah, you don't have it, and you have your own Path to the Peak in play. So I think that's a huge misplay from Sackett. I think he should have gone for the Glistening Droplets, 20 to the active, 30 to the Mew, or 30 to the Aerodactyl, either one. I think probably to the Mew, just to make them, like, force them to have the Scoop Up net. But it'll stick on the Aerodactyl, so. I don't know. We are seeing a third Speed Lightning energy get attached. Yep, that was from, the water energy was from the Melanie. So again, that's a third call on double attaching that was incorrect. People got to pay a little bit more attention during their matches here. We see the Forest Seal Stone also coming down onto the Aerodactyl. Now, are we going to see Super Zapbolt? Or are we just going to hit for 30 again? Yeah, I think we Super Zapbolt here because I would assume that my opponent has another Mew VMAX if they just went for the Techno Blast. But nope, looks like we're just going to hit for 30. He draws Aerodactyl V. Okay. Okay, so he's the one who has the Aerodactyl V in deck. It looks like Szymanski was the one who had... No. One of them prized one, right? Oh, that was game one. I'm thinking of game one. Sackett prized the Aerodactyl V. So it looks like we do just see a retreat. And again, I would have loved to... So because you didn't Glistening Droplets, you now have a turn where you don't attack. So you put yourself one turn behind now because you didn't use Glistening Droplets. And that feeds right into Szymanski being able to Super Zapbolt. So you are going to break the item lock, but Szymanski now takes 2 prize cards. So he is able to get 2 of the cards off of his prizes, fill his hand up a little bit more. Maybe it won't be as dead. We even have a water energy here on the Mysterious Tail Mew. And now are you going to Glistening Droplets, or are you just going to Techno Blast again? And this makes me wonder how people get to this point in the tournament if you're going to make such a big mistake like that. I would Glistening Droplets here. I would put that extra damage on the Aerodactyl since it's active. You are forcing the retreat of the Aerodactyl. And no, you take the knockout. Why would you not knock out the attacker? I don't get it. Yeah, again, I would have gone for Glistening Droplets, but, I mean, there's still the option to Glistening Droplets in the future. However, since the Mew just used Techno Blast, it cannot attack next turn. So Sackett is going to have to get a switch card. However, if Alex is just able to item lock again, what's Sackett gonna do? He's gonna whiff yet another turn. So not nearly as bad of a Mew player, in my opinion, as that one who decided to not put down any Pokemon on his bench against a Drapion. But I still don't understand what is going on here. I legitimately don't understand. Because that was also your first 2 prize cards of the game, and now you can't attack next turn. So like, what benefit did that get you? I guess you could play your Power Tablet, but you could play the Power Tablet either way. And your own Path to the Peak is just hurting you. It's not really hurting Alex as much as it's hurting you. I mean, look at how many cards he has in his hand. And that's without being able to use Radiant Greninja. Like, come on. So we are going to see a Trekking Shoes here. We're deciding whether or not we want to keep that. We are discarding the boss to draw another card. It is another water energy. We are going to Scoop Up Net our active. We're going to put up the Vikavolt, and I do think we just hit for 30. Yes, we do. All right, perfect. So this thing cannot move. Mew decks do not play Bird Keeper. So, yeah, what's he gonna do? So, a 9. So if he attacks with Super Zap Cannon this turn, he would do 190. That would leave the Mew at 250. So that's still not ideal. But we do see the escape rope now. So we can just see another Super Zap Bolt. I think that Sackett is just throwing this game, it looks like. Because he did, like, essentially waste 2 entire turns, giving Alex the way to come back into this game, leaving him with that Vikavolt in play that could have been taken out of play to be able to continue item locking, to continue to just even take prize cards. So Alex has 2 different options here. He is able to just Super Zap Bolt to try to buy himself more time to get another Vikavolt or Raikou set up, or he can just take the Super Zap Bolt knockout here. Actually, no, he's 20 short because of the Oricorio. So yeah, I do think he just goes for the Paralyzing Bolt. Oh, we are going to get the Drapion as well. Sackett has to read this card. It's Drapion, my dude. Oh, we're going for the play. Yep, so we are getting rid of the Path to the Peak. We're going to double cross switcher up the only Mew VMAX in play and take it out with the Drapion for 4 prize cards and Mew through this game. Alex is able to pull that out of nowhere, and that was a glorious play to win the game right there. So we will have to see if they are able to come back into this for Sackett here. Again, just did not play optimally in that last match. He could have had that Vikavolt knocked out. He could have attacked 2 more times over the course of the game and just chose not to by not using Glistening Droplets that one turn. And that just gave Alex the chance to get the Drapion Skyseal Stone, to take 2 prize cards and just go for that play and win the game. Yeah, that's also a thing that I do when I'm like joking around with my opponent when they play Escape Rope, and I just jiggle my active Pokemon because I have no bench. Those are the kinds of fun things I like to do in my matches. So we are seeing Ultra Balls discarding Big Parasol. You don't need that in this matchup. And Path to the Peak, which did not really benefit you in the previous game. It really just hindered you. Although it did help with the Drapion, but these decks that play Drapion always like seem to have the out to the path the exact turn they need it. So we see, looks like Power Tablet. We're going to draw 2 cards with Genesect. Maybe we'll get a Battle VIP pass off of here. They still have 20 minutes left, so that should be plenty of time to actually finish this game. We are going to draw 3 more with this Genesect here. We do get Battle VIP pass, so we are off to the races now. We can get that Oricorio into play. That is very important in this matchup. We will likely want to get another Mew V into play just because we saw, well, we just saw how important it was to have access to the double Mew VMAX. So, I don't know. Maybe this matchup is not as favored as I thought it was for me. I guess with that Skyseal Stone. Skyseal Stone, in my opinion, is the unhealthiest card in the standard format right now. A lot of people say Lugia is busted. A lot of people say Archeops is busted. A lot of people say Drapion is too good just because they want to play Mew. I think that all of those are fair and fine. I think that Skyseal Stone is unfair. Allowing you to just take an extra prize with no downside is just dumb. Like, at least Stoutland only does 40 damage. Yes, you can stack it with powerful colorless energies, but at least it only is a 210 HP Pokemon, and it is easy Echoing Horn target in certain matchups like against Mew. So I think that a card like that is fair. Even Greedent, I mean, that's a 1/1 line. You can take 2 extra prize cards with that, but it's so much setup to get that going. It's not very good in Lugia, in all honesty. But that Sky Seal Stone, just being able to take not only a knockout with Drapion, but to be a 4-prize knockout, you make sure your opponent is never allowed to play Roxanne, because you never go to 3 or below prize cards until you win the game. I even played against Sky Seal Stone Rotom V-Star, and that was pretty annoying. I still beat that with Lugia, but it was very annoying. The first game, I was 1 turn away from winning. If they didn't play Sky Seal Stone, I would have won. And it's just like you can map out an entire matchup and then still like be behind a turn just because they're allowed to go ahead 1 turn by having the Sky Seal Stone. So we do go for we have the full setup with the Mews here. We got double Mew, Oricorio, triple Genesect. Alex is going to go here. He is going second, so he will be able to potentially attack on this turn. So we are going to have to see if we get there. We have the Energy Search. We are going to be likely grabbing a Water Energy with that so that we can discard it with something along the lines of Greninja or just a Quick Ball maybe. Looks like we are Quick Balling that away so that we can use the Melanie in a later turn. Or this turn, we do have the Melanie in hand. So we can Quick Ball for the Vikavolt. Looks like we are looking at the prize cards for some reason. Not sure why we cut to that. We do have the Drapion in the deck. So we're going to grab Vikavolt. We're probably going to play Melanie here onto the Vikavolt, draw 3 cards, hopefully get maybe a Speed Lightning Energy, draw another 2 cards. And we have Scoop Up Net already, so we can go in straight for the item lock this turn, potentially. So yep, here is Melanie. We're going to draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Very nice way to draw them. We do get double Speed Lightning Energy off of that, so there we go. Speed Lightning, draw 2 more. We do get the Drapion. We will definitely be holding that until we have the Sky Seal Stone for 4-prize turn. We are going to Ultra Ball, discarding another Water Energy, and looks like the Aerodactyl we don't really want in this matchup, so might as well get rid of that here. We are likely going to get another Vikavolt or maybe a Mew with the Mysterious Tail. Mew seems pretty good. There it is. And we have the Scoop Up Net for the active. We can put up either the Mew or the Vikavolt. We do have another Scoop Up Net, so we could just go in with the Mew if we wanted to. But, yep, this is perfectly fine. We are just going to Paralyzing Bolt for 30 and go on our merry way. So we do see a Mew VMAX. We are going to Genesect for a couple of cards here. Looks like 3. We do have item cards now in our hand that we cannot play. We do not have a double Turbo Energy yet. That is the bad thing for Sackett here. He is going to go for the Judge, disrupting Alex's hand and hopefully drawing himself into a double Turbo Energy. Again, since he only has the 1 Mew VMAX in play, I would like to see that Glistening Droplets this time. That Mew is on the bench. You just judged away a Scoop Up Net. I would love to see the Glistening Droplets, putting 2 on the active Vikavolt and then 3 onto the benched Mew. Then you are another Glistening Droplets away from that Mew potentially getting knocked out. Looks like we do redraw into the to the Drapion, which is kind of funny. If Alex is desperate, he can just go in and attack with that, but again, you want to do that for your last prize cards of the game. You don't want to waste Drapion early, especially since Mew always plays a couple of lost cities. So it looks like we are going to retreat, and we will Glistening Droplets? Nope, we're going to Psychic Leap. Okay. Yeah, the Psychic Leap damage, the extra 20 that you're doing to the... I mean, either way, right? You're doing 50 damage, so you might as well just make sure 3 of those, the 3 that don't matter for the knockout, just go to the bench to Mew, so that you could potentially knock that out in a future turn. Looks like Alex is readying up this Drapion. He's like, I don't really want to do this, but I might have to. Looks like he is going to bench the Drapion. He is going to Melanie to it. Yeah? I mean, why not? We get another Vikavolt off of that Melanie. We do get the Radiant Greninja here. We have the Escape Rope. We could play it and just take 2 prize cards with the Drapion, but that is not the ideal way to go about this. So that is going to force the 3 prizer to the bench, so he is only going to take up to only 1 or 2 prize cards here with the Drapion. I mean, if I were Sackett, I would put up that Oricorio. Okay, I guess he's going to just sacrifice the Mew. I would definitely have put up Oricorio. It makes the Sky Seal Stone math still the same if you put up Oricorio. Because then he would have to take 1 prize off the Oricorio. He would then have to... Yeah, he would take he would just go in and back with the Paralyzing Bolt on the Oricorio, right? Would give you a couple of turns to find another double turbo. And then if the Oricorio does get knocked out, Szymanski goes to 5 prize cards remaining. Knocks out a 2 prize card, that's 3 prize cards remaining, and he just doesn't need the Sky Seal Stone for a knockout. Whereas if you feed him the Mew V, he knocks that out with Drapion, he takes 2 prize cards. Then if he's able to do that again with the Drapion, if you can't knock him out, then he has 4 prize cards remaining and can Sky Seal Stone for the game. So that's 1 more knockout that they would have to take. We are going to see the concealed cards, discarding a water to draw 2. Looks like we get Quick Ball and something else here. Yeah, we are going to attach a Speed Lightning to Vikavolt as well, draw 2 more cards. We have Air Balloon and Scoop Up Net, so we could use either of those options to move the Mew. And we are going to go for the Paralyzing Bolt. So now Sackett is definitely going to want to find the boss's orders so he can knock out that Drapion as soon as possible. And since Alex has already shown that he is playing the Ditto V, he's also going to want to get the Path to the Peak in play. Yeah, so we're going to want to see double cross switcher for Drapion after this judge, along with Path to the Peak, so that then if the Ditto comes into play, it can't transform into Drapion, and even if you can recycle the Drapion back into play somehow, it still won't have an ability. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if this can work out for Sackett or not, because it's not looking good right now. We do see an evolution to the Mew V Max. We're going to Genesect for 3 cards. We do need a double turbo for this. Well, I guess we can just retreat now. I guess either way, we could have just retreated. We do have the Lost City. That's just as good as the Path to the Peak, only in the fact that you can cross-switcher for the Drapion and Lost Zone it. And then you don't have to worry about it coming up with the V transformation. But it looks like we are just going to knock out the Vikavolt, Lost Zoning that. Does not make that much of a difference to have the Lost City here. And then that is it. Looks like we also have Professor Program judges as well here on Sackett's side. So that's pretty cool. We are going to see the Training Court is going to get rid of that Lost City. We are going to bring back the Water Energy to concealed cards again, potentially. Either that, or we could just attach it for turn to the Vikavolt. Looks like we are going to Energy Search. Likely getting a, looks like Lightning Energy, okay. Now, he knows the Mew VMAX cannot one-shot this Vikavolt, right? So he is going to get the lightning energy, so he can attach that for turn. And then on the next turn, he can bring back a water energy with training court, attach that for turn, and then super zap cannon potentially. We are also going to see a judge from Alex here as well. So he is going to reduce the likelihood of Sackett being able to get what he needs if he already had some good stuff in hand. However, Sackett does have the ability to just draw with Genesect, so the judge does not matter too much for him. It's likely just Alex looking for some more playable cards to be able to use to get a little bit more set up here. So we are going to be drawing 4 cards each. Looks like we get Speed Lightning, Scoop Up Net, Quick Ball, Cross Switcher. Yes, Cross Switcher. So what else are we going to do? Looks like we are going to Concealed Cards away the Speed Lightning energy. Not the ideal card to discard, but it's probably fine. We are going to use Greninja yet again, or we are going to Scoop Up Net the Greninja because we can. We are going to Quick Ball, and are we getting Crobat? Yes, we are. So we're going to grab the Crobat so we can draw more cards. We will likely be able to reuse this Radiant Greninja if we draw into yet another energy, preferably water. And again, that is the preferred art of Crobat, the one with silver in the background, the cool rival from Gold, Silver, and Crystal. And yeah, we're going to be able to Crobat for 5 cards here. Sackett giving that deck a good shuffle. We do see a Fighting Energy, so we can discard that for the Greninja. That would not be wrong. Oh, also we have the Training Court. We haven't used the Training Court yet anyway. Yeah, and he's like, wait, you can't do that. And Alex is like, no, I used the Scoop Up Net. And he's like, oh, that's right, that's right, that's right. So we're going to see Mysterious Tail here. And that's, again, why I like to see the ability used markers, just to make sure. Because if you scooped it up, then you'd remove the ability used marker. So we're going to grab Trekking Shoes that will let you dig 1 to 2 cards deeper. They only have 6 minutes left. I think this game may have a conclusion, but they are cutting it very close. So we are going to Trekking Shoes. Look at the top card. Do we want to keep it? Yes, we do. We are going to retreat into the Mew. We are going to use this Mew. Forest Seal Stone, probably. We haven't used our V-Star power yet. I would grab that. Although we would prefer Sky Seal Stone, but, you know, if you have to do it, you have to do it. And this turn, you can just attack with Drapion. That wouldn't be the worst case scenario. Especially since you already got rid of 1 Lost City. You could always V-transform back into the Drapion and do it again, but you always want to save that Drapion for last. But since it's already in play, you might as well just use it. Try to go up on some prize cards here. They may have even a gentleman's agreement so that if they go into game 3, they can conclude by going by prize cards. I always love gentleman's agreements in that case, because the Pokemon rules should just be like that anyway, but they aren't. We do see the Scoop Up Net. Looks like we are going to go in with the Vikavolt instead. I am more of an aggressive player, so I personally would have probably gone for the Drapion. I don't think that is actually correct, but that is what I would have gone for. Because you could remove the only double turbo energy that Sackett has in play and just hope that he doesn't, like, redraw into one. Looks like he does play the Lost City, so my play was definitely incorrect. Because then you lose the Drapion and do not have the ability to go for it again. And it also opens you up to Roxanne. So we are going to see a boss's orders onto this Crobat. So it looks like we are going to go for maybe an easy knockout here. We're going to Genesect for 1 card. We are going to retreat and pass. Oh, yeah, we bricked. So no, using the Drapion would have won Szymanski the game. He would have been able to knock out the active. And he would not have had the energy to attack with this new Mew V that's Mew VMAX that is in the active spot, so he would have been able to just take 6 prize cards off of this Drapion and win the game that way. Unless Sackett has access to Roxanne, in which case then he could have drawn himself a new hand that way and maybe gotten to the double turbo, but, you know, relevance. So it looks like we are going to quick ball for Luminion. They have 3.5 minutes left. They got to speed this up. Szymanski has not taken a single prize card in this game. Sackett has taken a couple. So we will have to see if this game does go to a tie or not. Because if this goes to a tie, they do not make it. Because I do remember it was a clean 35 match point cut. Everybody with 35 match points made it. Everybody with 34 or less did not. So we are going to cross switcher up the Genesect. Okay, so here we're going to probably... see, this is rough because we can't super Zap Bolt for the knockout. We don't have enough damage yet. We don't have any damage on that Genesect because of that Oricorio. That's really messing with Alex's math. We are going to see the Forest Sealstone come down here. We are going to retreat into the Vikavolt, and we're just going to hit for 30. And then on the next turn, we can super Zap Cannon. We can finish off this Genesect, and then be able to take the final prize cards with Drapion Sky Sealstone. No, he's just going for the super Zap Cannon, or the Paralyzing Bolt again. And it's just a quick draw pass from each player. Just Paralyzing Bolt over and over for Alex. I think he's afraid to go in with the Drapion when he'll need to. And maybe he wants to conserve this energy here as well. So that he can super Zap Cannon something different. Maybe soften up those Mew VMAXs a little bit more. They have 2 minutes left on the clock. I'm a little concerned as to whether this game will finish or not. He might be thinking Sackett is holding on to a path to the peak to play it the turn that Alex takes the knockout with the Vikavolt. Looks like we are going to see a retreat this turn. We are going to... Are we going to Techno Blast? No, we're going to Max Miracle. Perfect. A lot better. That will two-shot the Vikavolt and allow you to still keep your active Mew without having to retreat it. So, Alex does have a decision here. I'm not sure what his decision is, but... This game is getting pretty rough. They have 1 minute left. There are 4 cards left in Alex's deck. He has Bosses, Orders, and Sky Sealstone. He's looking for that Sky Sealstone. He does not have it yet. And Sackett may just have another Judge in order to put all those cards that are in hand back into the deck. There is also still 1 Cross Switcher, I believe I saw left in deck. There is 1 in hand. So yeah, this is very rough for Alex. I don't know if there's going to be a conclusion to this game. I think that Sackett can potentially still win this game, but I don't think Alex can because of how much time is left in the round. Now, it looks like we are going to see a Luminion is going to grab the Boss's Orders. Okay. So now we can knock out the Drapion and then just hope to get into the Sky Sealstone on the next turn. You do have the Mew, so there are few enough cards in deck to where you could draw that out. And he is thinning his hand as much as possible in case he gets judged. So I do think that Alex does still have a shot at winning this game. They have 4 seconds left. Can he have his opponent draw a card before time is called? And that is no. So yeah, I think you play the Boss's Orders here, bring up that Genesect, knock it out. Or do you? See, if you still had more time on the clock, you could just bring up the Genesect again and then just keep hitting it for 30. But I think you need to super Zap Bolt now. Boss's Orders brings up what? Yep, that damaged Genesect. Okay. Time has definitely been called because Sackett did just go through who turns are. So Alex being 0. Oh, Alex is just going for the tie? Oh, I don't believe that. No, don't you want to win and make top 8? I would risk it. I would risk it. I would risk going for top 8. I would not take the safe top 16. No. I would not go for a natural tie. I would have super zap bolted this Genesect, and then I would have just hoped I got the Sky Seal Stone. Because you do have Mew. Because if this active goes down, you can just retreat into the Mew. And now you really just don't have the out anymore. And if you drew into the Sky Seal Stone off the Judge anyway, and you didn't get knocked out, you could just hard retreat into the Drapion Sky Seal Stone and win the game. So yeah, I think that this was a bad judgment. I don't think it's a bad play, but I think it's a bad judgment call from Alex. I think he should have been more aware of time and a little bit more aggressive in this game. And I definitely believe that he should have won. But yeah, if he did go for that attack with the Drapion, like I said that I would have earlier in the game, even though attacking with Drapion early is always just not the ideal way to go about things, it definitely would have worked because his opponent, Sackett here, did not draw into that second double turbo energy, and that would have been a quick and easy 6 prizes from Alex right there. So in hindsight, this is a throw from Alex, but honestly, during the match, he is making correct decisions. This is definitely the way you want to play it. And honestly, guaranteeing a tie for top 16 is pretty good. It might matter for a stipend. You'd rather guarantee top 16 than get just top 32. That's a very significant difference in points. And money as well. But if you make top 8 and then you can, you know, just win out there. And it just goes to show that certain players have different play styles. So Alex is really going in with the item lock with this Vikavolt. But if he just played this a little bit more aggressively, more like a normal deck that just takes knockouts, I think he could have definitely gotten there. Although if he did take that knockout with the Drapion, he wouldn't be item locking, right? Even if he did the super zap cannon, he wouldn't be item locking, right? So then that gives Sackett more cards that he can thin out of his hand, so more outs. So, but I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess this guarantees the top 16 for them. Yeah, so it looks like Alex is like, I think they might have some sort of gentleman's agreement. Alex says that he has Cross Switcher in hand. So I think Sackett may be just scooping to Alex. They may have a gentleman's agreement based on board state for who wins the game. Yep, and it looks like he does give it to Alex on a gentleman's agreement because Alex does have the double Cross Switcher in hand. So that does show that he is able to take the Paralyzing Bolt knockout and then knock out with the Drapion in the next turn. So the natural conclusion of this game would have been Alex Szymanski winning. So Sackett goes, okay, we made the gentleman's agreement. You definitely would have won this game if it played out. So I will concede to you so that we do not both get a tie. You can make top 8 and I will take the L there. And that is, honestly, I love when players are able to do that. Sackett is so good for honoring the gentleman's agreement like that. Because some players would just not do that. And that is what made this a clean cut. So congrats to Alex Szymanski for showing that he would have won that game either way. Props for Pokemon for deciding they're going to change the time rules. Oh, wait, they haven't. But anyways, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you back in top 8. Again, only about 15% of you as of recording are subscribed, according to Watch Time Analytics. And if you subscribe, you get more of my stuff in your feed. If you got this far, you like my content, so you might as well subscribe so that you can see more of it. And if you didn't make it this far, then you're not going to subscribe anyway, and that's fine. That's fine. It's whatever. And I'll see you guys next time.